In this video, we're going to showcase how easy it is to leverage a nested chat conversational pattern in Waldiez. We will implement a use case included in Deep Learning AI's AutoGen course, and the concept is that we want to automate content generation for a blog post using different types of collaborating agents. We have an agent that serves as a writing critic. That agent asks a writer agent to compose a blog post, which is then sent over to a search engine optimization engineer agent, then to a legal reviewer, and then to an ethics reviewer. And all of these edits are synthesized and summarized by a meta reviewer, sent back to the writer who fine-tunes and finalizes the blog post. Let's start off by creating a Waldiez file, and we will be renaming it as NestedChat. And then we will go ahead and start off by creating our models. On the right menu, add model. For this example, let's go with NIM, provided by NVIDIA. You need to use the exact name as it appears in the LLM model services and the name Llama description and the API key. And we need to ensure that we have the base URL and save, and voila, our model is ready. Now let's create and orchestrate some agents. Let's start with the assistant agent. It's going to be our blog critic who gets to review the work of the writer and also provide constructive feedback to bring and improve the quality of the content. And let's associate this agent with the model we have created and hit save. Now we don't need to create all the agents from scratch. We can just copy and paste the first agent and edit the agent details. So for the writer, let's change the name to writer. Let's amend the description and the system message, because this one is not the critic anymore. This is the agent writing engaging and concise blog posts with a title, etc., etc. The model is there. Hit save. And now let's go on and create our set of reviewer agents, copying from existing agents. This is the search engine optimization reviewer. Let's edit the system message to say that you are optimizing content for search engine, and make sure that the blog ranks well and attracts organic traffic, etc. No other configuration is needed. And let's go on to our legal reviewer. The legal reviewer would be specialized to ensure that the content is legally compliant and free from any potential legal issues. And hit save. And now let's copy that and create our ethics reviewer. Let's zoom out to see everything, and let's set up our ethics agent that is going to ensure that content generated is ethically sound and free from any potential ethical issues. And as always, it will be concise and to the point. And we can hit save. Finally, our workflow needs the meta reviewer, the agent responsible for aggregating and reviewing the work of the other reviewers and give a final suggestion on the content. So let's update the description accordingly and the system message. And no other configuration is needed, so we can hit save. Now let's set up the messages the agents will be sending to one another. Drag and drop lines. Let's start with a message from the critic to the writer. We need two turns, one for returning the initial blog post and one for the refined version of the blog post. The message type is, of course, a text. And the message, the prompt, would be to write a concise but engaging blog post about deep learning AI and make sure that the post is within 100 words. Now that we have configured the message, let's configure the flow itself. And don't forget to also name the flow so that you remember what each flow does. And let's go and edit the flow on the left side menu to set the order. The critic will be messaging the writer. And now we have one flow ready to work. Up next, let's establish the nested chat communications. First one between the critic and the SEO reviewer. This one is going to be the get SEO reviewer flow. Select the nested chat as a chat type. And under the nested chat, let's go and use a custom message type. The idea here is that the message of the writer gets passed on to the SEO reviewer. So let's uncomment this part of the code, and we've deleted the rest. And this way, the recipient receives the last memorized chat by the sender. And that was it for our first nested chat. We can hit save and proceed with the next ones. You'll see how it looks different. Now let's do something similar with the nested chat for legal review communication. Again, a nested chat type, max turns equal to 1. And we are also going to go with a custom message and do exactly the same as previously and hit save. And that was it for the get legal review flow. Let's name it. Now, as you can see, there's an index. The first letter, a capital C, means that this flow stems from the critic. And alongside the letter, there's an index 1 and 2. Don't worry about it for now. We're going to be fixing it later. Let's go to the flow from the critic to the ethics reviewer. We follow the exact same steps as with the other nested chats. Selecting the nested chat type, setting max turns to 1, go with a custom method. Now the final flow goes from the critic to the ethics reviewer. And let's not forget to name all the previous flows as the get ethics review one. And the new flow's name is get meta review. Also a nested chat. Let's configure it. Nested, max turns to 1. And under the nested chat tab, we will select text as our message type, asking this agent to aggregate feedback from all reviewers and give the final suggestions on the writing of the blog. And now the only thing would be to define the flow in the nested charts. For that, let's click on the critic, go to the Nested Chats tab, and select which agents will trigger the nested chat to initiate. In our case, this would be the writer. And up next, we need to also define the order. Remember those C2, C1 earlier? This is how we fix them. So we have the message from critic to SEO reviewer. Second is the legal reviewer. The third one is the ethics reviewer. And the last one is the meta reviewer. And let's save this one. And you can see that the order has changed and the indices are updated. We're now ready to run this agentic workflow. How exciting. Let's press run. And as we can see, the critic sent a message to the writer. Now the writer generates this article titled Unlocking AI Potential, Deep Learning AI Revolution, and then the nested chat begins. As you can see over here, the critic forwards the message to the SEO reviewer to review the content. And the SEO review says, okay, these are a few points to improve for search engine ranking purposes. And then there's the legal reviewer that says, okay, you should ensure that the content is legally compliant and suggests some actions like verify permission to use Andrew Ng's name, etc., and checking trademark status, and so on and so on. And up next will come the ethics reviewer. The ethics reviewer will suggest the following for respecting intellectual property rights, being more transparent about affiliation. Now, all these review points get aggregated and sent to the meta reviewer agents, which provides detailed recommendations that address each of the points made by all the other reviewers to optimize the content for search engine, compliance and transparency, intellectual property, and attribution. Now, all these get to be sent back to the writer agent, and the writer provides the final really nice blog post about unlocking the potential of artificial intelligence with deep learning AI, including the permissions. And this is how you orchestrate agentic AI agents to generate a blog post without actually having to write anything by yourself. Exciting, huh?